We are doing question 9a. Right, let's read the information. In the diagram below, the graphs of f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c and g of x equals to x plus 8 are given. So we have these two graphs here, g of x there and f of x. Note that O represents the origin. The equation of axis of symmetry of the parabola is given as x is equal to -1. So actually, what is this? What information are we given here? Okay, this is the equation of the axis of symmetry. It means that this is the x coordinate of the turning point. This is the x coordinate of the turning point. Right, f has an x-intercept. We have the x-intercept here, -4, 0 there, and a given point. -2, 4. This is the point here. Okay, it is not the turning point here. You can see this is the point. It's a given point. So determine the value of A, B, and C. So what is the meaning of this? Okay, so actually it means that we have to write or to find the equation of the parabola in this form. We have to find the equation of the parabola in this form. And then how do we find the equation of the parabola? We may be given the turning point and another point. So we can start with this equation, general equation, x minus PO plus P squared plus Q. Okay, when you're given a turning point and another point, you start with this equation. Right, when you're using the x-intercepts and another point, we start with this equation, general equation. Okay, where x1 and x2 are what? Are the x-intercepts, where x1 and x2 are the x-intercepts. So we're going to do the two methods. We're going to start with this one, and then followed by this. Okay, right, we're going to get the same answer. Right, let's see what we have to do. Right now, so let's start with our general equation for f of x. F of x is a parabola. Okay, a x plus p squared plus q. Right, why are we starting with this? We're given the axis of symmetry. It means that x is equal to -1. Remember that p changes sign. If it's negative on the function, it's going to be positive on the, if it's negative on the graph, it's going to be positive there by the function. So it's going to be +1 here, where is plus p here is going to be +1. And then we can substitute the other point. Okay, and then after that we expand and write our equation in standard form. You see that? But now, if you check, we'll have to create two equations because we'll have to find our A and our Q. Because we don't have A and Q, what we have is just P. So we're going to create an equation, start with this point. Okay, it depends which one you want to start with. We're going to get the same answer. So you'll find out that maybe the equations that you're going to form may be a bit different from mine, but at the end, we must get the same answer, okay? I cannot do all the alternatives here, otherwise the lesson is going to be very long. So we substitute those 2 points and then we solve for A and Q. You see that? We find A and Q there. Right, let's try to do that. So let's start by substituting our, using this, the axis of symmetry. Remember I said the axis of symmetry passes through the turning point. So this gives you the x coordinate of the turning point. So it's going to be f of x is equal to A and then x plus 1. You see that? Because by the graph there, it is x minus 1. X is equal to -1. So x equal to -1, sorry. And then plus q. You see that? Now, let's start by substituting this point -2, 4 there. Substitute -2, 4. Substitute -2, 4. So take note, don't make a mistake. We start with the y. The y is your f of x. So 4 there. Where there's f of x, you write 4. Or where there's y, you write 4. So it's going to be 4 is equal to a. We don't have a. And then x is negative 2. Then plus 1. And then squared plus q. See that? Okay, so this is negative 2 plus 1 in the bracket, which is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is 1. So it becomes 4 is equal to a plus q. Okay, and then that is our equation 1. That is our equation 1. So we have created equation 1. Do you see that we have two variables here? We need to solve for a and q here. So we need to create another equation and solve them simultaneously. Right, how do we create another equation? We substitute into this equation, we substitute now even into this one. We substitute the second point, negative 4, 0 there. Substitute, subs means substitute. Substitute negative 4, 0. And then be careful, your y is 0, your x is negative 4. So it's going to be 0. 0 is equal to a, and then negative 4 plus 1 squared plus q. See that? Okay. And then negative 4 plus 4 is negative 3. Negative 3 squared is 9. So this is going to be 0 is equal to 9a plus q. See that? We have our second equation. Right, we have created our two equations now. We can solve them simultaneously. Okay, you can use substitution, you can use equating, you can use elimination. It's your choice. Right, now let's go to the two equations. Let's create equation 3. So now our equations may be different. Someone may create equation 3 using equation 2. Someone may create equation 3 using equation 1. And even using equation 1, someone can start by isolating a, someone can start by isolating q. So we may have different equations here, but we must get the same answer. Okay, so I will start by isolating what? A. Someone can isolate q in equation 1. Okay, so it's fine. Don't stress there. The main thing is the concept. Make sure that you do your mathematics correctly. At the end, the answers are going to be the same. So I'm going to use equation 1, right? From equation 1, we can say a is equal to what? A is equal to, and then I can, like, I'm bringing this one this side so that I isolate a. So it's going to be 4 minus q, isn't it? 4 minus q. That's equation 3. That's equation 3. And then now we can substitute 3 into 2. Substitute 3 into 2, equation 2. So where there's a, we put 4 minus q. So it's going to be 0 is equal to 9. And then 4 minus q plus q. And then let's remove the brackets that distribute 9. 0 is equal to 36. Is it 36? Yes. And then minus 9q plus q. Okay, 0 is equal to 36 minus 8q. Let me just bring this negative 8 to the left hand side, becomes positive 8. So 8q is equal to 36, meaning that q is equal to 36 divided by 9, by 8, and then which is equal to, the common factor here is 4, which is 9 over 2, right? Which is 9 over 2. Let me just use this here, this space here. Okay, so we have our q is equal to 9 over 2. We've managed to find our q. So what do we need to find now? We need to find our a. So instead of using equation 1 or 2, I can use this equation because already it's in the form a is equal to. So where there's q, I put 9 over 2. So it becomes a is equal to 4 minus 9 over 2. Do you know that 9 over 2 is 4.5? So what is 4 minus 4.5? Or you can use your calculator here. Don't make mistakes. Sometimes when you do calculations, you can make mistakes. So confirm your calculations with your calculator. So 4 minus 4.5 is negative half, isn't it? So A is equal to negative half. You see that? So we've managed to find our A. And then now our equation, remember the original equation that we have. So we need to substitute our A and Q into this equation, but we have this already with positive 1 there, positive 1. So let's write that. So it becomes f of x is equal to, what is our A? Negative half, and then x, and then already with plus 1 here, positive 1 from the axis of symmetry there, and then Q is what? Plus 9 over 2. We're almost there. Right, now we want to find the value of A, B, and C. So it means we have to write our equation in this form. We have to write the equation in this form. So we need to expand this so that we can write it in standard form. Let's just do that. Right, so this is what we have. So we can say f of x is equal to negative half, and then let's square the binomial here. Remember, squaring the binomial is very easy. So if you have x plus y, you see that, you just say x squared, and then plus 2 times xy. You see that this one takes the sign. If it's positive, plus here is plus there. 2 times xy, and then plus y squared. You see that? Okay, but if it's giving you problems, you can do it the long way. Okay, so like our x plus 1, I can just say this is x squared, then plus 2 times x times 1. 2 times x times 1, which is 2x, okay? And then 1 squared is 1. You see that? You can even do the long way if this is giving you problems like this. You see that? Then x times x is x squared. X times 1 is x. 1 times x is x. 1 times 1 is 1. You see that? Then you get your x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay? Right. So now we are squaring this, the binomial here. So we're getting x squared plus 2x plus 1. And then plus 9 over 2. Okay? What we do next, we distribute the negative half. So it becomes f of x is equal to negative half x squared. We're distributing negative half here. Negative half times 2 is going to be negative 1x. Then negative half times positive 1 is going to be negative half. And then plus 9 over 2. Right, we can simplify our constants here. The denominators are the same, and you can use your calculator again. Your denominators are the same here, but take note, this is negative 1. So negative 1 plus 9 is 8. Then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this gives you x equal to negative half x squared minus x plus 4. You see that? So now we have our equation in the form f of x is equal to ax squared plus bx plus c. So therefore, a is equal to negative half, b is equal to negative 1, and c is equal to 4. You see that? So we are done there. We've managed to find our a, b, and c. Right. Like I said before, we can also use the x-intercepts. Right, but how can you use the x-intercepts here? We have to remember that a parabola is symmetrical. So now, this is actually the midpoint. Let me just name these x-coordinates. Let me just name them. Do I have A somewhere? Or I can use A and B. This is actually the midpoint of, let me say, A and B. This is the midpoint of A and B. So now using the midpoint formula, we can find the coordinates of what? Of B. Okay? Or even counting, you can even count, right? How many times do we count to the left to get to -4? This is -1. So we can say -2, -3, -4. Okay, we must also count 3 times going to the right. So this is going to be from -1, we say 0, 1, 2. So it means this point will be 2, 0. Okay, but let me just use the midpoint formula. So we're saying that the x or the y is fine. It's going to be 0 because this is a horizontal line. So we can say that the x coordinate of A, I've just named my point A there. We're not given these names, but I just named it. X of A plus x of B divided by 2 must give us -1. Must give us the midpoint. Okay, so x of A is -4 plus x of B over 2 is equal to -1. Then -4 plus x of B is equal to -2. Then x of B is equal to -2 plus 4, which is 2. You see that? Okay, we're getting this. A parabola is symmetrical, so you can even do the counting. So we have the two x-intercepts and another point. You see that? So now we are going to say, let's start with f of x is equal to a x minus x1, where x1 and x2 are the x-intercepts. X minus x1, like that, and x times x minus x2. And then let's substitute our x-intercepts and the other point. The other point is -2, 4. So where there's x, we put -2. Where there's y, we put 4. And then where there's x1, we put -4. And then x2, we put 2. You see that? Let's just do that once. So here we put 4 from here, from this one. And then a, we're going to look for a. And then x, we're going to put -2 where there's x. -2. Okay, let me just do that. -2. Right, and then x1 -4, so it's going to be minus -4, which is going to be plus 4. And then 2 here is going to be minus 2. It's fine. Okay, right, so we have that now. And then what we have, let's simplify this. So it's going to be 4 is equal to a, and then -2 plus 4 is 2. -2 minus -2 minus 2 is -4. And then we get 4 is equal to a -8. And then we divide by -8 on both sides. A is equal to -12. Okay, so now we have our a. So now we go back. To this. And then we have f of x. Where there's a, we put -12, so it's -12 there. Then x minus -4 is going to be plus 4. And then x minus 2 is x minus 2. You see that? And then let's expand this. Let's expand that. So it's going to be f of x is equal to -12. And then x times x squared. X times -2 is -2x. Okay, let me do it the long way, it's fine. X times -2, -2x. 4 times x. Okay, I'm distributing the 4 now. Okay, this is how we distribute it. You can use your FOIL method, right? And then plus 4x, then minus 8. See that? Okay, now we can remove the bracket, or let's simplify this. They're like terms here. Okay, so it's f of x is equal to -12, then x squared plus 2x minus 8. Right, and then we can distribute our -12 there, multiply by -12, so it's going to be f of x. -12 times x squared is equal to -12 x squared. -12 times +2 is going to be -1x. -12 times -8 is going to be +4. You see that? Now we've managed to get our A, B, and C. So therefore, A is equal to negative half, B is equal to negative 1, and C is equal to 4. Done. Okay, it was a long one, but we managed to do it, and I really hope that you have understood. We're going to meet when we do our next question.